they'll keep it as an early game even if there's no late game?
No. If there is no second game, the game will be played at 7 p.m.
Copy that.
Hey, Glenn, just so you know, you're live up right now.
Thank you.
Fully streaming.
No one ever sits in that front row next to you. No, I've seen you move. I've seen you on this side. I'm blaming Suzanne.
Angela does. Can you get us a box score? Yeah. Go.
Representing Virginia, head coach Brian O'Connor, third baseman Kenny Towns, and starting pitcher today Nathan Kirby. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
Yeah, certainly Florida's got a really good ball club, good offensive club, good pitching depth. I thought their starter, Logan Shore, was pretty darn good today. Certainly we had opportunities there in the second through the sixth inning with runners on and just couldn't capitalize, and that's to his credit. Certainly he buckled down. He does as good a job as you'll see in changing speeds and locating, and pitched a very, very good ball game. I was proud of our guys that we didn't go away. We hung in there and mounted a fight there towards the back part of the game, but it just wasn't enough. They got 9 of their 10 runs in 2 innings, and that's to their credit. We just couldn't put them away in a couple of those innings. We were able to do that the other night against them, and but we have another opportunity tomorrow, and looking forward to that chance.
Open the floor to questions. Remember, please, to silence your phones and turn off your video recording. Portions of them will start here in the far corner.
Jeff White, VirginiaSports.com. Brian, was it unrealistic to think that you were going to totally shut down that offense for a second straight game?
Well, I knew it was going to be difficult. Certainly, they've had a nice offensive ball club all year long. They have ability to score from different spots in the lineup. They've got power. They've got speed. They've got a really, really nice club. I don't ever try to forecast of what's going to happen during the game, but I knew it'd take a good effort. Starting with Kirby, and I think the first couple innings he got us off to a nice start, and I think they made a nice adjustment against him in the third inning, and credit them. And I knew that we were going to have to chop the game up out of our bullpen, and everybody was going to have to do the job. And to their credit, they capitalized on 2 big innings.
Here on the left.
Mike Malloy, the Orlando Sentinel. Nathan, first time you've pitched in 2 months. How do you feel like you did today?
I just wanted to throw strikes, especially at this stage. You see what happens when you give the other team the momentum, and a couple extra bases. A lot of times they're going to capitalize. The game plan was really just to go out and try and throw strikes and make them beat me.
Here in the yellow.
Yeah, Andrew Rance, Packers, Russell Daily Progress. Nathan, maybe they made an adjustment, as Brian said. What do you think that was in the third inning? What did you see in that third inning that was maybe different than those first 2?
They stayed back on the ball and took advantage of a couple pitches that I left down the middle of the plate.
Fourth row in the back.
Steve Sellner, NCAA.com. Brian, given how today went, how do you feel about how your pitching stacks up for tomorrow?
I feel good about tomorrow. I haven't decided who will start, but we certainly have a couple of different options, and I feel good about it. We've got some pretty darn good guys left, and so we'll see what the right decision is. We'll make a decision at some point this evening on what we're going to do.
Coach, you came out very aggressive offensively today. You were first and second pitch swings, especially against Shore really early in the game. Was that the plan, or was that just how it played out today?
I think it's just how it played out. To his credit, he does a great job. He doesn't really get into a pattern from a pitching standpoint, and so you just gotta hope that you see the ball up in the zone and you get a good pass at it. And you can see that he buckled down in those middle innings and made some big pitches when we did have runners in scoring position. And Matt Theis put a good swing on that ball in the first inning, and then we just couldn't muster another hit with a runner in scoring position through until we got to the seventh inning. So.
Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Coach, looking at Nathan, how would you kind of assess his stuff the first couple innings and just overall being able to see him finally pitch?
Well, it was great to see him out there, Kendall. I knew it was going to be limited. It was going to be somewhere, it wasn't going to be over 60 pitches, somewhere between 45 and 60 pitches. We were obviously hopeful that he could maybe give us 3 clean innings, and I thought he looked really good in the first couple, and was fine in the third. It's just Florida is they're talented and they're gonna make you pay. They're on the barrel a lot, and they're gonna make you pay when you leave pitches over the middle of the plate. So it was great to see. He's certainly healthy, and certainly he can build off that. That's for sure.
We'll take 3 more questions. We'll start with Jeff and then Aaron.
Kenny, you guys had only 5 hits the first game against Florida, had 10 today. Does that give you something to build off of offensively, kind of the way you swung the bats today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we went out there and swung the bats pretty well today, but as Coach mentioned, we really didn't get those big hits in those big situations. But I think everyone's swinging the bat with some confidence, so I think everyone's going to be feeling good going in tomorrow.
Aaron.
Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Coach, obviously, as good as Nathan is, a little bit of a roll of the dice maybe to start a guy who hadn't thrown in 2 months or pitched in game action in 2 months.
Right.
How much did you consider going with Connor, and did the fact that you were in the winner's bracket, another one tomorrow, give you a little bit of luxury there to go with him and roll the dice?
Yeah, I had made the decision in the middle of this week that, one, we're 2-0 and we're here to try to win a national championship, and certain guys are going to have to rise up for that to happen. I'd also made the decision that Connor Jones would not throw a third time here. And when I had made that decision, I had decided to, if we were able to win tonight's ball game, then you could have him potentially to go game 1 of the championship series. So in no way was I going to pitch him today and then bring him back potentially on a Wednesday. So once that decision was made, I just felt like this is the right move, and I was really confident that Nathan would get us off to a great start, and there were a handful of guys were going to have to do the job out of the pen.
And our final question right here.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Coach, could Waddell be one of the options for Saturday, and is there enough rest time, and is there a temptation given his success that he had on Monday night against Florida's lineup?
I wouldn't be concerned about it being a temptation. I mean, it was pretty efficient on Monday. I think he threw just shy of 100 pitches. If he did pitch tomorrow, it would be on 4 days rest. Certainly we'll analyze that and determine what the best thing is. But he absolutely could be an option.
I'd like to thank the Virginia student athletes and Coach O'Connor for joining us. Tomorrow's game, the time will be determined based on the outcome of our second game, but Virginia will be the home team. For additional interviews with Virginia student athletes or coach, please coordinate with Andrew.
Thanks, Glenn.
Representing Florida, head coach Kevin O'Sullivan, starting pitcher Logan Shore, catcher Mike Rivera, and shortstop Richie Martin. Coach, if you'd begin with an opening statement.
Well, obviously we're excited about the opportunity to play tomorrow. It's fairly concerned when I saw Kirby's first couple innings. He kept flipping changeups in there for strikes, and his command looked really good. Our approach was to kind of take a first pitch strike and try to get his pitch count up, because he's probably going to be on some sort of pitch count. But he kept throwing first pitch strikes and looked really sharp. We hung in there, and like I said, we played good defense. We had some really good at bats. Logan gave us a great start again. And looking back at it, we had first and third. Ryan hits a single. We had first and third, and I think the third inning there, and Bader gets to 2 strikes, and it was almost reminiscent of the other night. And he put the ball in play. He didn't hit it hard, but it got us on the board for the first run, and that kind of got us going. If he strikes out there, who knows what happens. But like I said, we've responded all year long when we've had our backs against the wall, and we're obviously excited about the opportunity to play for play Virginia tomorrow.
We'll open the floor to questions.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. A question for Richie. You had the opposite field home run against Miami on Wednesday night. Then you went the other way again for the double today. How much has that maybe gotten you out of your, earlier your funk a little bit, the ability to kind of take the ball where it's pitched?
Yeah, I struggled the first 2 games, but that's baseball. It's gonna go like that. But I just stuck with my approach. The first 2 games I hit a few balls on the barrel, but it was just unlucky, and stick with my approach and happened to work out today.
Here on the left.
Mike Malloy, Orlando Sentinel. Mike, you had 2 big RBI in this game. Tell me about the at-bat in the 3rd inning when you guys were finally able to break through on this team and get rolling.
I just try to keep it simple. Just try to hunt fastballs and square something up. It was bases loaded, so I was trying to elevate the ball. That's one thing, but I didn't want to elevate it too much. Just make a good swing and drop it in.
4th row.
Steve Sellner, NCAA.com. For Richie and for Kevin, too, if you have anything to add. 4th time in this CWS, you guys have scored 4+ runs. Every other team is combined for 3. And particularly today, you guys, every time you had something going on, you got something, put some runs on the board. What is it about your guys' ability to do that when you do set the table, to especially today, to see it through and put some runs on the board?
Richie, could you begin for us?
Yeah, sure. I just think that we're coming together as a team, at the right time. Throughout the season, we hadn't really put everything together as an offense, defense, and pitching-wise. So it's nice to get this going in the postseason when it matters.
Coach, anything to add?
We have a tendency to have big innings, and in order to have big innings, you have to have a consistent lineup 1 through 9, and not necessarily is it the first 4 or 5 guys in your lineup, but it's the guys that hit 7, 8, 9. And I think we're getting a lot of contributions from up and down the lineup, and it just allows us to when we get things rolling in an inning to build some big innings.
George Richards, Miami Herald. Logan, you're on the mound for all that. You saw the 11 runs on Saturday night. How much confidence does it give you knowing that this offense can put up those kind of innings and give you that 4-1 padding coming into the 4th?
Yeah, started with the SC tournament, everyone just started hitting, especially when I'm on the mound. It seems like every single game they're just putting up, double-digit runs, which is awesome. It gives you a lot of confidence going into a game. I gave up a run in the first there, and I know we were going to bounce back. I knew that one run wasn't going to hold us down, and Bader came through there with that hit there and got us rolling, and that was the end of it.
We'll take 3 more questions, starting here in the 2nd row.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Coach, just how big was that 6th inning too, to just be able to kind of tack on and kind of create a lot of breathing room there, with the bases loaded in the 6th and coming through some hits and runs?
Well, I think anytime you have opportunities to score, you gotta take advantage of it. And we knew Virginia's hitters were not going to go away. We knew the game was a long way from being over, but you play good teams this time of the year. You get a couple cracks to have some opportunities to drive some runs in, and we had bases loaded, nobody out, and we needed to take advantage of that opportunity.
Logan, they were very aggressive up there, swinging on a lot of first pitches, second pitches. Did you pick up on that pretty quickly, and how did that affect your performance there?
Yeah, first pitch of the game, the guy swung at it and hit a single. So I could tell right off the bat they were going to be aggressive, which going into the game I wasn't really expecting. I thought they were going to take a little bit more, especially early in the game. But I tend to do a little bit better against teams that are more aggressive, having 3 pitches and throwing them in the zone. So, it worked out for me today, and just excited to get back out there tomorrow.
Jim Schoner from Baseball America. Logan, if you could just talk, if there were any adjustments you had to make after that first inning to kind of shake that off, and then also for Coach, if you could just kind of, what was your assessment of Logan out there today?
Yeah, the first inning I thought I made some good pitches. That first single was pretty weak in the 6th hole, and then they put a pretty good swing on the ball up the middle and got out of there with 1 run. So just try to keep the ball down and move the ball in and out, and just try to make pitches throughout the game. So.
We have time for one final question. Coach, you want to add something?
No, I just thought he threw the ball good. I just think he got a little tired there at the end. Last pitch was change up, he dropped his elbow and the ball took off, and left-handed hitter wanted to stop momentum, but up at that point he threw the ball good, really good.
And our final question from the back.
Ben Murphy, ESPN 850. Coach, any thoughts on a starter for tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously we've got 2 options. It's either going to be Puck or Dunning, and we got confidence in both very talented. So we'll get together as staff tonight and figure it out. But it's all hands on deck tomorrow. We're not going to hold back. So we'll worry about the next day, but we're going to do anything we need to do to hopefully win tomorrow's ball game.
I'd like to thank the Florida student athletes and Coach O'Sullivan for joining us. Once again, tomorrow's game time will be determined, and the home team will be Virginia. To coordinate